What's up, guys? Got a new camera, testing it out for the first time. Hope that looks good. Is that better? I don't know how this works. I think I got it. Did you know that there are over 1,500 music genres? 1,500, that's insane. That's too much. We do not need that many options. And that's not even the crazy part. Most of these genres are underdeveloped and suck really bad, and people still listen to it. You can go to subreddits with hundreds of thousands of users for the most stupid music ever. So today, we're gonna talk about them. Like, for example, how rap is objectively one of the sickest genres, but for some reason, every single mainstream rap song sucks really bad. So it's going to be interesting to talk about hip hop for me because it is my most listened to genre. I like the hips and the hops, but there's a lot of stuff to hate about hip hop no matter what you like in it. I think rap is an incredible music, but the industry and genre and just like the whole culture has pooped very hard. For example, one gripe I have about it, as the industry goes on, I feel like there's less and less words with meaning, but also just less and less words in general in the song. There's more like and skirt, sleep. I feel like we don't have enough actual lyrics going on, and it's really pissing me off. I think in the future, we're just not gonna have words in our music. Every single time I see like a futuristic movie or show, everybody's just listening to like these futuristic little boo-bop little beats with like no words on them. I'd be fine with that if we're just gonna head down the road that we keep heading down. I'd rather just not have words and only have a couple little weird auto-tuned noises from these rappers.
Hey, that's pretty catchy.
I think eventually we'll just all get sick of hearing each other's voices, so we don't want it in music anymore. Another thing I hate, and I'm sure you agree because I just can't imagine anyone actually liking this, is beef, internet beef, specifically rap beef. I couldn't be bothered to care why these guys don't like each other. I couldn't care less about who can insult the other guy more. Personally, I don't like insulting people and I don't like getting insulted. Why would I watch that from someone else? It's so petty. With two guys trying to one-up each other's insults like middle school girls at a slumber party, millions of people enamored online with who can be a bigger jerk face to the other guy. And the entirety of the media is just focused on crowning who's the better keyboard warrior. Like, what are we doing here? And the whole point is just for the media to monetize it and for everyone else to be hypnotized with just like the most petty thing on the internet. Beef is basically like over-dramatized gossip that everyone would hate in middle school and high school, but it's just okay flying around on the internet. We've just let this go. I think we need to put a stop to it because it's getting annoying. I also think that in a way the industry of rap has kind of turned into politics. Obviously there's political rap and stuff like that, but that's what I'm talking about. In politics, you have these people that just like argue with each other and just single other people out and just talk crap for absolutely no reason, and also they never say anything worthwhile. Rap beef in a way is just like that. Everybody's just yelling at each other, and then merch comes out of it and like different like freaking songs like for viewership, and it's all just about clout and fame, and we're all just blinded and we're just like, oh my gosh, he's so cool. No, he's ripping you off. He's using this as like a way to gain fame that's like doesn't require any work at all. Let's get real for a second. I think the worst part about rap these days is how soulless it is. I think a lot of newer rappers are getting into the game because of really bad reasons, like clout and fame and money, and honestly just completely unhealthy lifestyles that they choose to flex really hard in their music, like gang violence and taking drugs, and like that stuff will always exist, but of course there's more and more of it, and people just suck. Like they're not even trying to get good. There's just auto-tune and chat GPT lyrics flying around the rap industry, and somehow it's going viral. That's what pisses me off. People can go and swear in their songs, people can go and beef for all I care. I can avoid that. But the fact that there are so many people out there that are actually getting famous off of putting no work into their music at all with ChatGPT and freaking, this is annoying and I hate it. I think if you want to pop off as a rapper, there's a list of requirements that you have to meet. Not because those things make you famous, but because if you don't have those things, the rest of the rap industry will just call you gay and kick you out of it. Because if you don't fit their narrative, don't fit what they're supposed to look like, their little image, then you're basically out. And that kind of sucks to me. And please, for the love of God, stop with the auto-tune. It doesn't even sound good by itself. House music. Knock, knock. Oh, I love these. Who's there? House music. House music who? House music sucks. So me and house music have a long-standing relationship that is at times rocky. I used to be a massive house fan to the point where like house and dubstep were all I listened to. Now I've kind of stepped away from it and I dislike a lot of the newer house music, and so I have a lot to say about it and I feel like I'm pretty equipped to do so. First of all, if you like house, you're in luck because you have many options. There are about 4,000 subgenres you can listen to, and all of them sound like kind of different, but not different enough to call it a different music. So instead of saying like, oh, this isn't house, this isn't, no, it is house. It's slap house, deep house, big room house, bass house, vocal house, tropical house, tribal house, tech house. To be clear, I think some house is fine, but if it's a regular listen, why? One of my friends is actually a house producer, and like that's the main thing that he produces is house. And I also happen to send him all of my videos. So let me just take a moment to say to him right now, Jaden, you're a weirdo. You're a weird guy. I just hit the kind of people that listen to house all the time. They have something wrong with their brain because it doesn't sound good for extended amounts of time, and that's just a fact. Like I said, some house is good, but if it's just your regular listen, it gets so repetitive, like or even the slow ones, like deep house. Sometimes I put deep house on to work for like 15 minutes, and then you're like, all right, but let's change the music now because this is getting really old. The kind of people that are listening to house all the time is the kind of people who their whole playlist is just house music, Metro Boomin, and slowed plus reverb songs. Like, it takes a certain kind of person, all right? One criticism that I think we can all agree on, or at least most of us, and it is my biggest criticism, is how industrialized house music sounds. Obviously, when you're not into a genre, every song in that genre will kind of sound the same. Like, if you don't listen to country all the time and you listen to country songs, you're gonna be like, oh, this sounds the same, and the same thing with rap. But then you get into it and you're like, oh, there is differentiality. I've been in house and it never differentiated. Like, if you want to make a house song, it has to have this riser, it has to have these drums, it has to have this synth, like it has to have these certain things. And dude, don't even get me started on the vocals. They all sound terrible and they all sound equally terrible. House producers are just absolutely convinced out of their mind that if the beat goes like boo choo, it is a good song, and there's no way around that. But just the fact of the matter is, it still has to be a good song and have some differentiation, where most of these people just take a vocal and slap some drums and a weird synth on it and just call it a house song, and everybody's like, yeah, baby, let's do some drugs. As you can tell, I've never been in a club before, so I don't really know if that's how it works. Also, music videos. Never once have I watched a music video for a house song and been like, oh my gosh, this doesn't suck. Because every time I watch one, I have to say, oh my gosh, this sucks. I just think overall there's no differentiality and there's nothing really spectacular going for house. There's a lot of like industry for it, but I feel like it's all just partying. And if you're the kind of person that listens to it outside of partying, you might need some help. You ever talk to someone that sounds like they got so much twang you're talking to a banjo? In the last few years, new country has hit the mainstream like crazy. So I know I'm gonna piss a lot of people off here, and I think it'll be funny. But let me just say first, I'm not a complete hater of country. I think some of it is good. I think some of the old country can be actually quite good. It has really good storytelling, really good voices. Not my regular listen, but I can have a lot of respect for the artists. But new country just isn't country, and you can't argue with that. New country has trap drums, and trap drums don't go in country. New country has freaking drill beats on it. I don't know if it does. Dude, new country is just so like modernized that it's just not country anymore. Like actual people from the country, they're genuine Southerners, are not going to be listening to Morgan Wallen. I don't know if that's 100% true, by the way, so if any Southerners are watching, go comment down below. Be pissed off. It'll boost my algorithm. But I'm just saying, I think the new country is not even close to country in the first place. The way I'm picking it apart may sound like I'm a very big country lover. I'm not. I don't listen to country, and most of the time when I listen to it, I hate it. But I do have a certain opinion. The new country just isn't even country. Like, it's not even good. And what pisses me off is the way the songs on the radio are made, like the new country songs, are made in such a way that with my musician mind, like I know music, I know that they're getting ins and outs that are just way easier to make music. The drums they're using, the guitar riffs they're using, the words that they're using, like they have zero effort put into that. The country scene is like old YouTube. Every YouTuber was putting in a lot of work to each video, not just a lot of money, but a lot of work to be funny, and being funny and entertaining, that alone would hold someone's attention. But now you have to have overstimulating cuts and edits, and now we have YouTube shorts and TikTok. Over time, people have cared less about how funny and entertaining a YouTuber actually is, and they just need more and more stimulation to carry their attention. That's probably why this video isn't gonna get many views, because I don't make it extremely overstimulating. Old country used to be a genre, which was like every song was raw storytelling and emotion, and actually meant something with every lyric. Now we're seeing that people need bass, hard-hitting drums, and extremely over-energetic notes to hold their attention. It's just not the same. It's like a parallel of YouTube, and I think it's just gonna head in this direction constantly for the future. Like, for example, I don't even like Post Malone, but I think he at least has a unique sound to his music. And then comes his country album, and boy, does he sound like every other freaking hillbilly out there that makes music. Now listen, I have have a conspiracy theory, and you're just gonna have to hear me out. I think country artists are faking their accent. I see some of these guys that are obviously city boys with the way they talk and stuff like, but then they just have this accent in their music. I think they're faking it. I think plenty of them have a genuine accent. I don't think most country artists, but I think a pretty good amount of them are faking it. I'd say like 10% of the popular country artists. Plenty of artists have been seriously accused of faking their accent, including Taylor Swift, Kelsey Ballerini, Shania Twain, Keith Urban, Florida Georgia Line, Billy Ray Cyrus, all been suspected of faking their accent. But here is my biggest gripe about country music, and it is just because you listen to Morgan Wallen, Keith Urban, and wear boots and maybe go and ride a horse every once in a while, it doesn't make you country. See, what I'm saying is my biggest gripe isn't even about the music itself, it's about how people react to it. I've seen so many people that I know turn into like country people, and like people online think they're country people. Listen, you were born in the city, you don't have an accent, you don't know what it's like there, and just because you wear oversized boots and booty shorts and listen to Morgan Wallen, that doesn't make you country. You're not cool. Now, can I say, I do think some people are country. My sister likes riding horses, and I think she's pretty good at it, but she ain't country, and she thinks she is. Stop thinking you're country because you do a couple of stereotypical country people-like things. Like, what you think country people act like, maybe they don't even act like that. You don't know because you're not country. If I get really good at math, bob my head when I talk, put a dot on my forehead, does that make me Indian? No, but I act and talk like an Indian doesn't make me Indian, not even close. But if I go move to India for 5 years, I get an actual accent, I learn what it's like there, and I become more Indian in nature than I am American, now I'm an Indian. People can consider me an Indian, and I would think that's valid, okay? Even if my skin color is white. And the same way, if you go move to the country and get a freaking farm, a ranch, and go get goats and ducks and chickens and play in the mud all the time, and you do that for a couple of years, you're now country, okay? I don't care if you were born in the city, like if you actually go do that, you're now country. Disclaimer, by the way, I have nothing against Indians or cowboys, or even Indian cowboys. Funk. Why was this even invented? Funk literally came from nowhere. For the longest time, we only had like X amount of massive genres. And then one night we went to bed, the next morning we wake up and boom, plus one massive genre. And not only is it just a genre, it is massive. It is very popular and it happened quickly. Like no one really got a warning. Like there's this up and coming genre. No, boom. Social media, that's what it does, baby. We have an entire new genre and we said so. You can't say anything about it. Funk has staked a pretty large claim in the modern music industry, and it's honestly impressive, and I have quite a bit of respect for the couple of people that have really profited off of it because it is insane. But let's just get this straight. Funk is internet music. It's meant to be used in the background of sick edits. Really, most of them aren't sick, but what's supposed to be sick edits. If you're listening to funk outside of short form social media, and maybe the occasional gym session, maybe we should try some diversification in our music tastes. And to be honest, I think a lot of them do slap hard. Like just the way that the beat is, it is kind of crazy how hard it slaps. It is very cool, but overused. And also, have you noticed that most of the edits are just extremely low quality and do not actually hold any standard at all? Most of the edits I see on YouTube are just like this, like with the little stupid little troll face. Like what is that little thing right there? The weird little troll face thing? That should not have been invented either, but the fact that that is immediately associated with funk edits, that's sad, because you've just ruined funk more. I mean, you cannot tell me that you actually think this sounds cool.
He pulls his car by me and says, "What are you out here?" I said, "Because you're not."
Like, you think that sounds incredible, huh? You think that sounds so motivating and stuff. If that's what gets you motivated, cool, I guess. But like, really? That's what gets you motivated? And funk is what's gonna motivate you? Really? Whatever way you want to get motivated, great. But how is this motivating at all? How does this get your blood pumping, your adrenaline rush? Some guy survived a train. That's great. Why do we have to put a little troll face on him? Why do we... What? And I mean, if you want to talk about repetitiveness, someone's making like 3 seconds of a song and like you're listening to the same 3 seconds on repeat for 4 minutes straight. This is not original. None of these songs are original. You're copying off the next guy, first of all. And second of all, no differentiality. There's no like spicing it up in the middle of a song, no breaking it down, no like switching to a different kind of beat. No, it's the same thing. And people are still listening to it. Why? Overall, I think funk is weird. It's weird. That's about all I have to say about it. I can't say it's good. Can't say it's bad. It's just weird. Now, I know we've got some Asians in the chat right now, and I'm not trying to piss anyone off, but like, this is your genre. But just so you know, like, I'm not saying no white people should be listening to this. I'm saying nobody should be listening to this, including white people, especially white people. But if someone were to listen to it, Asian? This genre's very existence makes me question my life, because to anyone, no matter who you are, I don't care, how does this sound like music to you? How does that even enter your ears and you don't want to die? How does this sound good to your eardrums? How does that look good to your eyeballs? Stop with the stupid I don't know how it goes, but I've heard it so many times in YouTube shorts. It absolutely blew up. I hate it. I hate it. Like, this is modernized K-pop, and I am not for it. Please stop putting it in YouTube shorts because I can't avoid it. Like, okay, let me just explain my position on this. I think a lot of genres are fine if they suck, because they can just stay and exist, whether they suck or not, and they just stay in their own center and they don't go mainstream. Like, if New Country never went mainstream and it was just like existed in its own little corner, and then, you know, this niche group of people listen to it, I'd be fine with that. Like, I'm never gonna get pissed off at that, never ever. But then there are other genres where I don't care if it's famous or not, it shouldn't exist. One example of this, a YouTuber named Big Tugg made a video about a genre called crunkcore. That's one of the ones I'm talking about. It's so annoying that no matter if it's famous or not, I don't want it to exist because I don't like the idea that people actually listen to it. The same way, I just feel weird and cringy if anyone listens to K-pop. I just hate it. And the fact that it's gotten big just makes that so much worse. Also, I'm not sure if K-pop stars know what clothes are, like regular clothes. Like, for people that really like fashion, they suck. That's the one thing that I like about K-pop, is that I can just make fun of these guys all day long. What is that? Who thought that was a good idea to wear to any occasion ever? What is that? Please explain to me. What was going on in your head when you put this on right now? Like, that's not gonna, there's just like people that are gonna like this. I know there's people out there, I don't like it, but there are people out there that are gonna like that. But to put it on display for everyone to see, really? Why? Why this one? I mean, the person shouldn't even exist after this. Come on. Come on, people. Anyways, I love you all very, very much. All I want to do is make videos, and I'm trying to upload twice a week, actually, to hopefully give you guys more content. There's going to be 2 videos a week from here on out, hopefully, as long as I don't die. Please subscribe, for the love of God. I am 18 in 4 months, and I'm going to move out right after that. So please subscribe so I can make this work before then.